John, welcome back to RaithTV. Last time we chatted it was about looking backwards. This time it's all about what's on the horizon for us. We're only a matter of days away from our first pre-season friendly. How quickly it turns round. How's the squad looking in training? You've had a busy session today?
Yeah, we have a good session today. We've had a lot of good sessions, to be honest with you. Right, we're coming back on Friday the 11th. We were back on Friday the 11th, and we done testing on that day throughout the whole day. We did train in the later on in the afternoon after we had done the yo-yo test. The balls were out, and we were working on the tactical side. So we've been trying to mix the training very much from, yes, the fitness side of it is important, of course it is, and we're working on that. Everything we do is working on that, but we're also trying to get the tactical side into the team in regards to formations, and not just one formation, 2 or 3 or 4 formations that we're probably going to play throughout the season. So it's not all about run. It's definitely not. We've had the ball out for day one, and again, as I say, it's been very much put across because the tactical side, because we've got a lot of new players in, and it's not completely like starting from scratch, but it's certainly going over. It'll be a better revision for the players that have been here, going over things we've done in the past, but also new things. And certainly for the new players coming in, we're just going to make sure that they realise all the sort of tactical stuff that we do, which we've been doing that even in between sessions when they're having their lunch. After lunch, we continue to do some video work based on how the way we played last year, and giving them that vision of how we go and how we play, as well as on the pitch. So all in all, it's been great. As I said probably last week, well, the only unfortunate thing was Dave Mackay had pulled out in the first session, and other than that, we've come through it with a kind of clean bill of health. There's the unfortunate situation that Frankie had his operation, which means he's not going to be back to the end of July, maybe even the beginning of August. And unfortunately, Tom Lang had an operation towards the end of last season when he was at Clyde, and he's not trained yet, but he's getting closer to getting involved with the rest of the players in the team. So hopefully another week or so with him, with a bit of luck. So unfortunately, we've got these guys that have been injured prior to the season coming back here in pre-season training. Dave Mackay is the only one who's picked up an injury during it, so he's maybe due to be back in the next 2 or 3 days. So he's missed a chunk when he probably couldn't afford to, but he'll be unfortunately having to train with a sports scientist on his own to try and get that fitness level. He's been rehabilitating with a physio and doing a lot of gym work, but we're looking for him to get back involved by the end of the week. Probably not involved at the weekend. We'll probably get a little bit of fitness work into him, and maybe not even like the Clyde game, but maybe looking like, potentially, possibly the Queen's Park game, maybe, if everything goes well. So yeah, it's been good. It's been good to get the new players involved, and obviously the players that have been here for a wee while, hitting the ground running, because we didn't have such a long break, and so our guys have come back and taken no time at all to get right up there, right up to speed, and I'm really pleased about that. And yeah, the newer ones have certainly stepped up to the plate and caught up as well.
I'm going to ask you about the new signings individually, but one of the things that struck me is, I guess, kind of last season and maybe particularly this season, is the complexity of just team building, the person-to-person stuff, because there are so many restrictions still in place. How do you get players kind of connected? As we know that if you're going to battle for people on the pitch, you often need to have a personal relationship as well. How do you juggle all of this?
Well, it's very difficult under the restrictions that we've got. The restrictions are the exact same as they were at the end of last season. We're still looking for a little bit of relaxation going there, but I think the whole sort of nation is still in the situation, this third wave that's on the go at the moment, so I think the SRG group, working with the SPFL and the SFA, are very cautious that we don't get into a situation where clubs end up getting COVID again and it spreads through your football club like wildfire. So they are being cautious, and we're having to work under the same restrictions as we did before the season finished. So the guys are arriving with training kit on, and they're training, and then they're going. So it is difficult to get that, but we're having to all the protocols are in place, and so we're having to go by them. But you know, it didn't cause us any real problem last year. Could it have been better? Yeah, maybe the spirit in the camp could even have been better, but we didn't really have an issue with that. And these guys, they're obviously having to get together in the training, and they get that team bonding within the training. They, you know, can chat to each other during training with little breaks in the training, and they kind of get a bond. I mean, a lot of the guys like Aidan Connolly's came back into the dressing room, who was here previously. You tend to find that by, you know, it's a third party, somebody knows somebody who knows somebody, and the guys that were brought in, like Liam played with like Jamie McDonald at Alloa when Jamie was out on loan, and as I said, Aidan's came back in here. Tom Lang, maybe no, but then so they're no longer getting integrated in, and we've always been very good at that, getting the players to feel welcome, you know, immediately, just by the way that we are, you know, and people will kind of speak about us in that manner as well, you know.
I'm going to ask you a wee bit about each of the new additions, some we know and some who'll be kind of newer faces to Raith Rovers fans. Christoph Berra, probably a player we would all know most about, followed him all the way through his international adventures.
Yeah.
What was the big attraction there?
His experience, really, you know. He's a natural left side. He's a aggressive ball winning centre back who will win, you know, like set plays, headers for corner kicks, for and against. He'll be an asset in the opposition box. He's got, you know, potential to score goals for us. He'll defend the box really, really well for us. He's naturally left-sided, which helps as well. He'll strike up a partnership with Liam Dickett in at left back. At the moment, we're training with the 4 defenders. We've got Regan Tumley, Kyle Benedictus, Christoph Berra and Liam Dick. So these guys are getting to know each other really, really well within everything that we're doing. Christoph's a winner, you know, and for someone who's like 36, he's been first class in the training, absolutely first class. So I knew these are the things, the dressing room, very much like when we brought in Grant Murray way back. When we brought Grant in, his influence in the dressing room was like second to none. Such a good professional, such a good trainer, you know, low maintenance, gets on with the job, and then he shows everyone by the way he goes about his business. We knew that Christoph would bring that into our dressing room as well, and that is very much the case. You know, he's bang on and all the runs, boom. You know, he shows his experience. He's no one who's going to run away out like 100 mile an hour to start with and then be lagging at the back once, you know, you've kind of like blew a gasket. He's like, he knows exactly what time he wants to get to this position in the runs. And the training, he's talking all the time, which is exactly what we want. So the younger defenders and the younger players in the team will learn from him. There'll be great respect there, you know. His stature in the game, what he's done in the game, speaks volumes, and that will come across to everyone. And I'm sure the Rovers fans will instantly see this, immediately see it. As soon as you come into the stadium and the game gets going, you will see the influence that he's going to have. He's going to help Kyle as well, you know, and as I say, Liam Dick, younger defenders like Tom Lang, Dave Mackay, and not only that, you know, we're quite young with Dylan in there in midfield. Brad's now 25-ish, so he's not, you know, he'll still pick up things, he'll still learn things. Ross Matthews will still learn and pick up things, even if it's in the dressing room, as I say, with regards to the way he goes about things. So at the moment that's difficult because of, you know, the restrictions that we've got, but I'm sure in time, hopefully things, you know, everyone gets their vaccine, get it twice, and things can open up a little bit more, and I think Christoph has got a big part to play within that, you know. So been really, really impressed, even on the ball, the way we've been trying what we do in training is going to, the ball's on your foot virtually all the time, other than the actual slot that we've got for, you know, kind of like the running session. After that, even in the warm up, the ball's out, we do a running session and the ball's back in, so everything we're doing is with the ball. And so, you know, he's now buying into everything that we do and how we play, and you know, he's looking the part. He's a big character, you know, and he's a big guy, and he's a good defender, and that's came out in everything that we've done.
staying with the centre halves, Tom Langs came across from Clyde. It's always interesting for fans. They immediately go back to the previous club and say what did their fans think of him, and he comes clearly really highly regarded by everyone that's watched him play before. What was it that caught your attention?
Yeah, we've been tracking him for a little while. You know, even like when he wasn't breaking through at Dunfermline, myself and Paul had went to like a reserve game, and we had seen him, and for us he did quite well. He found it difficult to break in, very similar to kind of the like, situation right now actually, unfortunately for him, that he had a bit of an injury in pre-season when he was at Dunfermline, and then Dunfermline kind of started the season fairly well and couldn't break into the team. So I'm hoping that's not going to happen for him here, but obviously he's not started because he's had that operation. So we've continued to kind of follow him. We can, through the Y-Scout login that we've got, we can go in and we can watch games that Clyde play in. When he played against us for Clyde in League One, I liked what he did in the games against us. He was aggressive, he was a winner, he was putting his body on the line, and he was talking to his teammates, and that winning mentality came across. And so it's just things that trigger in your mind, and then he became available. And you go into Y-Scout, you watch his recent games. I watched games against Falkirk, who were at that time the team at the top of the league, and how he kind of like battled his corner, how he competed against the big strikers like Connor Salmon and Anton Dowes and guys like that, and I liked what I saw. So it was a continuation of continuing to see good things that he does, and he's actually very, very good in the ball, so he kind of fits the profile of what we're looking for. He's a strong, well-built guy, and I can understand why the Clyde fans would be praising him.
I've got a wee bit of an advantage having been fortunate enough to see all the games last season, that I've seen Liam Dick playing for Alloa and getting up and down the line. Is this a play you've been tracking, or was it especially on the performances that you saw last season against us that caught the eye?
Well, you know, from our point of view, and my point of view, we knew for some time that the club was going to go full time, completely full time, and we kind of had discussions with Kieran, and we kind of like came to the conclusion that he wouldn't be able to go full time with us. So you draw up a kind of list of potential targets that you would go for. So Liam was certainly on that list. I'll be honest, and Liam knows this, we tried for one or two others before we got to Liam, but that wasn't because, you know, we did try to get one or two others that kind of like got kind of snapped up. So what I would say though, I've been very, very like surprised, and if I thought he was a good player previously, I think he's a far better player than what I thought he was now. Actually having him in and working with us, he's done exceptionally well in training. He is a winner. He's going to defend really, really well. He's done really well in the training and everything that we've done. His attitude's been first class. He's a really, really good type of boy, and so, you know, I think that like a lot of the guys when they come here, I think he'll kick on. I think he's at a great age. I think from my point of view, he's loving being here, and I think he's really looking forward to the season getting going and showing what he can do.
Great. Let's go on to a couple of well-kent faces. Aidan Connolly.
Yeah.
I know he's not going to win you many headers at set pieces, but he's certainly, we've seen when he's on his game, the talent that he's got. How's he been shaping up in training, and what was the immediate kind of reasons for going in for Aidan? Yeah,
well, we play different formations, but when we play with wingers, then you're looking for exactly that, and he's a winger. So we know that Dan went to Kilmarnock, and so there was an opening there in our team to bring in a winger. It's not like 100% the exact same as Dan, but it's similar. It's a similar sort of style of play. He's a tricky winger. He's a smaller one who will get at defenders, making them a nuisance of himself at defenders, going inside, going outside, and getting a good delivery into the box for strikers, for attacking midfield players getting in the box. So that's what the attraction was. Again, we've seen him over the recent years. He played for Falkirk against us, and he was always a little bit of a threat. You know, he was always a threat, really looking to go and get at our defenders and cause them problems. So he had been here before, he had done well before, and we're obviously met him, I went over things. He was very impressed with what we showed him, how we played and how we do things, how we train, our video analysis stuff, everything like that. He was keen to come, so delighted to get him. He's shown up really well in training. Again, getting used to the way we do things, because everyone does things, you know, slightly differently. Sometimes it's quite a lot different, but you know, I'm very confident and sure that he's going to do a right good job for us.
We've got Dario, who's came across from Ayr. We know him from previous kind of loan deals, etc. that we had him on. How's Dario fitting back into the swing of things in Kirkcaldy?
Yeah, he's getting better all the time, actually. You know, I think he didn't play an awful lot of football last year at Ayr United, so I'm basing this on Dario at Alloa. When Dario was at Alloa, he was like flying. He was absolutely flying. I think there's a great connection there between Liam Dick and Dario. They both were at Alloa at that particular time, so I'm hoping that partnership there is going to flourish for ourselves as well. I want to get Dario back to the performance level that he was given when he was at Alloa, and that attracted, you know, Partick to go and buy him from Hearts. So Dario knows himself that he needs to go and kick on. So as I say, day by day, every day, he's getting stronger, getting fitter, and being more positive in his play. So again, I think it will take a little bit of time, but I'm very confident that he'll be, you know, causing defenders all sorts of problems. He's good with regards to playing. We like to have our wingers playing on, you know, the opposite side. So he's like right footed, we like them playing on the left side, so he's coming in on his right foot and opens up the space for the fullback to get down the outside, and he's then looking to feed the ball into players like Keatons and Vaughan, and bouncing 1-2s to get in behind to get, you know, strikes at goal, or playing guys in, and that's what he's got in his locker. He's deceptively quick, and he's got a good eye for finding, you know, threading balls through small gaps in defences to break the defence, to breach the defence, and get players in. So that's kind of what I'm looking for him to do. As I say, you know, he missed a lot of games last year. He's got a little bit of catching up to do, but I'm sure he's going to do that.
Is that something that really excites yourself, John? We know particularly wide players are a breed of their own and play a lot of confidence, but is that something that you really thrive in, the challenge of seeing this kind of nugget of real pure talent, but feeling I can get a bit more out of you?
Definitely.
Is that where these lads fit in?
Definitely. I think we do that all the time, you know, and it's credit to myself, Paul, all the backroom staff, everyone involved, you know, to try and do that. That is job satisfaction when you can actually, maybe somebody who's not done so, and Kevin Nisbet's probably one of the biggest examples, obviously, and it's appropriate now, you know, him even getting on the other night there, you know, to get a new lease of life, to actually show people what you can do, to have that desire and hunger, and that's all we're asking for Dario, is to get that hunger back, that you want to go in the football pitch and really produce and really excite. And so as long as you've got that will to win, you've got that desire, and you want to go and prove people wrong, then that's then you've got a right chance of doing it, and we're here to try and help them do that. You
mentioned the Euros there. I'm sure that they're stopping you chatting with agents for our marquee signing that we're all hoping for, but the reality of these interviews is I'm expected to say any more movement, you know, what's going through John McGlynn's head. I know that you'll play a game of poker and you'll not be able to tell us too much, but is the phone always ringing off the hook?
Yeah, it's an ongoing thing all the time, you know. It's all the year round, obviously, but this spell right now, it's very, very, very busy. But we've got to be selective, because we just cannot just bring players in willy-nilly, because we don't have the money just to sign players after player after player. You know, we have to work to the budget, and but we are trying to get the best possible players we can get in for the money that we've got, and that's what we'll continue to do. I would be hoping before we get, you know, kicking a ball in earnest with regards to competitive football, or maybe league football, that we've got another couple in. I would be hoping that is the case. So it's an ongoing thing. We're always fingers on the pulse. We're always at the front end of everything, and there's so many players out there. But you've got to be selective, and you've got to make hard decisions. We've got a couple of guys up on trial right now. You know, there's potentially loan deals or loan deals, whatever, are potential to happen. Without getting carried away, I don't think we're going to be making loads more signings, but you know, I would be expecting now, one or two more signings before we, as I say, before we kick a ball in earnest. But it'll give the younger guys in the squad a little bit of a chance to show what they can do in the pre-season friendlies, as they did last year. Like Quinn Coulson did really well in the pre-season friendlies last year, and Quinn will get another opportunity this pre-season to go and show what he can do, along with Aaron Arnott. Maybe a little bit for Luke Mahady. So we'll see if we can get them involved in the games and show the fans that on the youth side of things, and the younger ones coming through the training wheels all the time, they're just in behind, ready to come through. So we always enjoy that side of it, when the young ones come in and go and show what they can do, and so they'll get that opportunity, and I'm hoping that they'll actually go and grasp it with two hands.
We face this challenge now of kind of second season syndrome, where other teams have had a good look at us, have seen how we go about our business. Maybe fans' expectations have risen because we carried such a threat last season. How exciting is that for you, to come up with new ways of rolling the dice and new ways to frustrate our opposition?
Yeah, well, you're right. I mean, and we have seen this sort of second season syndrome, in many cases, and Sheffield United is a perfect example, where they did so well in the Premiership in their first season, and then they didn't do so well last year, and they were relegated very quickly. So we have to guard against that, and that's about just standards. Keep continuing to get your standards right, and for day one, and we've done that so far, and we will continue to do that. With regards to the training, you get your training right. Everyone in the goes out in that training pitch applies themselves properly. Everyone encourages each other to go and raise the standards, to keep the standards up, and then you relay that with your preparations going into games, that you leave no stone unturned, and the standards are very high all the way through until you get to the situation where you're preparing. So we've got to make sure that we're ahead of the game. We've got to make sure we'll have enough information on our opposition, maybe not so much in like pre-season games, because teams are changing around and you won't get information. But by the time you get through the League Cup sections and you get a wee chance to get out and watch some of these games, which has been difficult for like myself when you were part-time on a Tuesday, Thursday night, when there's games going on a Tuesday night, you're actually here in training, which will be a benefit for me now. Like, I'll be able to go out, when we've not got a game on a Tuesday night, maybe a game's on a Wednesday night, and go and watch a game, or if we're playing a Wednesday night, there's a game on Tuesday night, you can go out and watch the opposition sometimes yourself, particularly early season when there's so many games going on in different nights. So we'll have a right good bit of information on the teams in the league, the new players they've brought in, how they're playing, how they're adapting, and we'll be prepared and ready for probably anything that can hit the ground, because we will be, and we are working on 2 or 3 formations daily throughout our pre-season training. And we were back early because I believe we need a month. I can hear about some teams coming back and there's 1 or 2 training sessions and they're playing games. Well, that might be alright for someone, but it's not right for me, because I think we need a month, not just to get the players fit, but to get them tactically spot on. This is the best time you're ever going to get. The weather's good. Well, the weather's better now than it is in November, December, January, February, March, when you struggle to do an awful lot of tactical stuff because it's too cold and you've got to just keep the guys on the move and get high tempo training sessions up. So this is the time where all your work's done. The foundations are laid for the season, and it's done in fitness, and it's done for me with regards to the tactical side that we need to put in place. And everyone's really got to know not only their job but how the whole team functions. And it's like the goalkeeper, when he gets the ball, he's got to have 3 or 4 options. When the centre back gets the ball, he's got to have 3 or 4 options. The right back gets the ball, he's got to have at least 3 or 4 options. And likewise, when it goes in the midfield, he's got to have 3 or 4. So we're going to need everyone wanting the ball. And these things are like repetition every day. This is like going into the players, and we're showing them video clips of how the team played last year and how it kind of flowed and how it had so much rotation in it and so much movement in it. And it doesn't happen overnight, and it takes the players as well. It takes the players to be taking it on board. We have lost Regan Henry, but I've seen Ross Matthews, Brad Spencer, Dylan Tate, the guys that are left, they've kind of like learnt from Regan Henry how to play that role, and they've picked it up on many occasions. Now with Regan going, absolutely impossible to replace Regan Henry like for like, but we probably have to get that balance even better going forward. and that's another part of it. You know, we have a number of defenders. We can now float into a back three, back five. Very, very simply, we can change formation. Very, very simply, we can change formation in game, probably from 2 to 3 different formations. So we'll be prepared and ready for everything.
Do you feel you're evolving as a manager yourself? Kind of casting your mind back a footballing season?
Yeah, well, I think what's came out is that I think we've shown that you can play football. You know, I think, and I don't mean that in an arrogant, flippant way by any mark, because I don't think that we've reinvented the wheel or anything like that. But we've got and had a lot of plaudits from a lot of people, and I'm delighted that the most important people are the Raith Rovers fans who have seen us play some terrific football, and I'm glad about that, and the compliments that came our way by the awards that the guys have got by being in like Team of the Years with Reagan and Reagan, the two Reagans actually, and Kieran McDonald being in the SPFL Team of the Year. You know, great Reagan Henry being up for nominations for the Player of the Year from his fellow players. All these things. So I think the fact that we've shown that we can play football in a very, very difficult league, a league that's never got an awful lot between top and bottom, but we were brave enough to go and play that style of football, which is not easy. So I think from that point of view, I think, yes, evolving, yeah, that didn't just happen this season. This has been going from the minute myself, Paul Smith, came in here, because we looked over stuff from the previous year. We had Kieran Bowie, you know, doing remarkably well, and that team kind of like flowing in League One. Probably didn't get the recognition for it in League One. But that has been going on for the whole time. It's coming up for 3 years in September. So it's a matter of evolving, looking at new ideas, new formations, and so I think we've evolved as a coach. I think we've evolved as a football club. Certainly, you know, in the last season, but I would say drastically from when I was here previously. A successful period in time, without doubt, but you are a good few years on, and I've mentioned before about my spell at Celtic and learning from Brendan Rodgers, and that's where we've tried to get our team playing that kind of like style of football. It's an attacking style, it's entertaining, we'll score goals, we'll lose goals, and there'll never be a dull moment, but you know, so from that point of view, continuing to evolve. I mean, quite often as a coach, once you're a manager, like, you are the main man, you've got to learn everyone else. You know, you're not necessarily learning from anyone. You're learning from the opposition with regards to what they're doing against you. You know, there's no one upstairs telling you what you should do. So when you go to a club like Celtic, you would have to went along like blindfolded or earmuffs on not to learn. You know what I mean? You would have to pick things up, just the day-to-day running of a juggernaut football club like that, and with such good people there, and such highly, you know, thought after like coaches and management. So picking things up there and bringing them here, and now, as I say, you learn every day with regards to little bits in training. Then we go quite so right, how are we going to get that right? Yeah, we need to adjust that here and there. Well, and it kind of worked, and that's where your job satisfaction comes in.
Well, the kind of question we move on to is one that we've had to kind of bookmark for far too long, but we're actually only a matter of days before we can actually welcome Raith Rovers supporters back into this stadium that we love so dearly. What does that mean for yourself? We've got the pre-season friendly on Saturday, and there will be a limited number, albeit, of season ticket holders will get in there. How important has their contribution been off the park and on the park?
No, magnificent. You know, the fans have been fantastic. I know they've not been in the stadium, but they've backed us in every other way. You can go back a year when we're all wondering what's going to go on, and the fans, you know, the 100,000 that they managed to, you know, put their hands in their pockets and give to the football club. Amazing amount of money, and we can't thank them enough for doing that. Obviously, a lot of fans would have bought their season tickets last year, and you know, they ended up watching the games on the scripted subscription to the RaithTV, which obviously got loads and loads of plaudits as well, and you guys done an amazing job, and I'm sure the fans, loads of fans, even the opposition fans, were raving about Raith Rovers TV and how they put the games across, how they commentated on the games, and how excellent the whole thing was. So again, our fans I'm sure we'll be very proud of that as well. But a massive big thanks to everyone who's contributed, people who went and done sponsored walks and other things, all sorts of things that went on. People like Christoph Berra who put up his league winners medal to auction, and there's loads and loads of people who auction things to raise money to keep the football club going through that really difficult period. So we thank them, you know, immensely. And for anyone and everyone who's bought a season ticket right now, I know it's quite difficult and you still maybe know a little bit, you know, certain about how it's going to pan out, but you know, if you could continue to buy the season tickets, because it's obviously going to help myself and Paul to, you know, to maybe bring in other players and to support the club as best as you can. But we know it's difficult times and we appreciate that. But you know, you're back to football club throughout, and I'm sure you'll continue to do that.
We've got another fixture that's been penciled in since we caught up kind of a week or so ago, and that's Ian Davison's Testimonial.
Yeah.
Hibs agreeing to come and play, and again a game that we hope that we'll have fans in and we'll cover on a kind of subscription basis. But no new, that won't be a friendly in the truest sense, so that will be used as part of your pre-season preparation.
Yeah, that's my plan. Yeah, I've been trying to get a game organised for Ian for some time, obviously, because he's had this going on in the background, but he's never ever been the right time, and COVID didn't help him either. So first and foremost, I'm delighted for Ian. You know, he actually got in contact with John Poor. He actually managed to organise the game. We gave him some dates and he went ahead of trying to get that organised. We're very fortunate that we don't play that night, and Hibs were available, and they're going to bring their full squad here. So it will be another part of our pre-season preparations. It lands in the middle of the League Cup. But it's a great game. It's a great game to play Hibs. It's a great game for Ian because it's Hibs are a big, massive football club, and in an ideal situation they would have brought a big crowd here. You know, unfortunately the situation, it's not going to be such a big crowd. But I think for Ian's point of view, he's got a right good football club to play in his Testimonial. We will be putting out our team to do the best we possibly can, because we will still be trying to prepare for our first league game of the season, and also the last couple of games to go in the League Cup. So yeah, I'm delighted for Ian. First and foremost, he's been a great servant to Raith Rovers Football Club over many years. So delighted for him that it actually fell into place. It couldn't have fallen, any better for him.
And a last chance for you and Paul to shout at him from the touchline in a Raith Rovers jersey, try and get him to execute your plan. Good luck with that.
Aye, yeah. Nah, I mean, look, I've known Ian for a long time, for way back when I first came to the football club, and we've got on great. We've had a great relationship, and so we've had our ups and downs, and he's had his ups and downs. But it's been a pleasure working with him over the period for both myself and Paul. And he loves his golf, and he's doing a bit of caddying, and he loves that. So, between that and I know he's got something on the horizon on the football side of things, which looks very promising for him. So I'm delighted for him.
Great, we'll look after Ian when that time comes. John, as always, thanks for your time, and as always, we just look forward to seeing the fruits of your labour out in that park, and it's only a few days now till we get to do that.
Yeah, I can't wait myself, but I think we'll have to be patient with the guys as well, because it's not just going to click as it did at the end of the season when everything's been working at it for a long time. So it'll take a wee bit of time to get the boys in, and then the team will be floated about, because we always do that in pre-season. We're trying to peak for 36 league games that will start at the end of July, and thereafter we will be using players in pre-season to try and get their fitness levels up. We're not carrying a big squad, so some players will probably play more minutes than I would have anticipated, but nonetheless we will try to float it around, and it's gearing up to get going come the League Cup sections.
I can see your excitement.
Yeah.
We'll chat after the game on Saturday.
Right, thanks Davey.
Cheers.